Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today we're looking at Balderdash, the hilarious bluffing game. There's many variants of this game. There's Beyond Balderdash, which I've played as well. And this particular game, ages 10 plus, is a game for 2 to 6 players. It's a word game, but it's generally using archaic, ancient words, as you'll discover. And I'm going to actually show the 2-player variant, which is a little bit easier to explain, just based on obviously how I'm just showing you this. So what we're going to do is there's over 2,500 different words, because as you can see there's 141, it goes up to I think 250 odd, times that by 5, whatever it was, over 500 cards in fact, 2,500 words as you can see, because there's 5 different things on here, 5 different words and 5 different questions or 5 different descriptions or definitions of what those are with the pronunciation. So what you're looking to do, the aim of the game is to get 18 points to win inside here, and you can check out my dice distancing video to see how far dice roll and whether or not you need a dice tray. That has already been recorded, but you will notice that will actually be going live after this is made. I always do the how to set up playing review before I do dice distancing. So you can take a score pad if you're playing with more than 2 players, and what you're looking to do is read out a word and people are going to be chucking in their suggestion as to what it could be. So for example, I'm just going to draw a word at random, draw a card at random. Now I have actually spent 8 hours plus reading every single card, which has given me RSI doing this. So for example, what is a kite magur? And if I read out the 5 options in any random order, is it long whiskers, a butler, a university degree originally from Oxford, a chimney sweep who solicits his service door to door, or a wicker basket? So everyone's going to be thinking what an answer could be. What you can be doing, if it wasn't a 2-player game, is what you're going to be doing is going ahead and reading out the correct answer along with some random answers as well that everyone's chucked in, and you're trying to make sure that the answer that you're giving, if you happen to be the bluffing and people choose your selection, like I don't know, you're saying it's a chicken crossing a road or something, then in that case everyone picks that, or people pick that, then you're going to get points. But let me show you how it works as a 2-player game. So it's much more straightforward. What you'll be doing is reading these options out. So one of the things, you can do it either way to be honest. You can either choose to read out a word and then give these options in any order you wish, or you could choose to read out one of these descriptions and then saying which of these words is it. It's up to you. Obviously it's slightly quicker maybe to do one more than the other, but either way you're going to read that out, and if the person gets it correctly, they get themselves 2 points. However, if they got it wrong, then you get yourself a point. Therefore, you're never going to have a dragging game. It's always going to keep on improving, unlike games such as Trivial Pursuit, which again is a trivia game more than maybe a word game. As for how many of these I actually know, I would say only about 30 of the 2,500, and including actually picking up a card. Like I said, I've picked up this card before, and yet I haven't a clue what any of these were. Now, sometimes if you're good at foreign languages, or in particular Latin, then it definitely helps you. People are doing a lot better if they know that, which is a bit of an unfair advantage in some respects. And of course, like a trivia game, once you do get to know the answers, it is unfair, of course, because you're now able to memorize it. However, if you read these words, there's some really interesting ones. Now, I don't have any to go off right now, but for example, a boat has an anchor. It goes through that hole in the boat, and that hole has got a name, and that's on here too. The right-hand side of a page, that has a name. If you happen to look into things such as what is a grandfather's grandfather called, that's got a name. So it's very, very interesting, I find personally. A termite is also known as a xylophone. Again, a weeple, remember this one. That's a poor attempt to whistle loudly. There's one that's what's the name between 2 breaking waves. I mean, that's got a name too. So it's very fascinating, and people I've played it with, they are definitely laughing because it just sounds so ridiculous, some of these things, and how some of these things do have words and how funny some of those words are. If you do play as a 2, sometimes they have things like a workfurner, and it's, I don't know, something named after Mr. Workfurner. And typically, if it is written on the back, that is going to be the case. So that is something to be aware of. The back of the box does give a good example as well. So please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share if you want to see more videos. Also head through and watch the Family Up playlist, the AmassGames playlist, and the Board Game Reviews playlist, amongst others. This could be in the sleeving playlist too. So what is a Powisky? Is it an old school chum, a rare species of tropical tree whose roots smell like perfume, a corner store, a European skunk whose fur is used to make paintbrushes, or a door-to-door doorknob salesman? I'm going to probably go with, I don't know, let's go with a rare species. Was it correct? I don't know. It's not even showing me on here actually, if you wish to check that out. So it goes to show you that you can completely make it up. But in this instance, it is rather good because whiskey Obviously, it could be to do with this somehow or another. European skunk, obviously, it's kind of got that in there too, like whiskers or something. Corner store, it has a kind of vibe. They don't necessarily group cards like this together, but on the card between like 501 and 502, they're talking about horses or something, so maybe they just get bored. It says 500 card, it's slightly more than that though. And there are some typos as well, and sometimes they say, oh, a near extinct bird or whatever it might be, and it isn't extinct or whatever it might be. But yeah, 1984 this one came out, so it's a pretty old game, but it is very popular. But I do prefer Beyond Balderdash, it's a bit more bluffing going on there too. Yeah, this is a game I kind of only give it like maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10, so it's slightly below average for me based on 2,500 plus reviews, over obviously averaging 6.4. There you go, thanks very much for watching. Of course, check out the accessories playlist to look into other things you can get for your board game table as well. But for now, back to the table.